many parents who think that toddlers or babies, they would not really remember. It doesn't make sense to travel with younger children.
It's not just the memories, but the experiences that I'm giving to my kids. I think why should I limit her in just the classroom when the world itself is the whole classroom?
As they rightly said, only happy moms can raise happy kids. What is the most common question you get from parents when it comes to traveling with kids?
How do you afford it? I have a 9 to 5 job to fund my travels. I'm not born with a golden spoon. Kids can adapt very quickly. They are the biggest absorber of places.
If you were to put traveling with kids in one word, what would that be?
Learning.
Let's talk about food, because that can be one very stressful thing for moms.
Plan A is make them experience the local food. And then comes plan B. And don't laugh about the plan B, okay? That's very important.
Maate, mother, ma, ammi. These words hold galaxies within their crevices. The sound of M dictates the universe. It is to celebrate these joys and some perils of motherhood that we bring to you. Matehood with Priyanka Raina, and today we will be having a thriving conversation with someone who's a traveler by heart, a corporate leader by profession, and a Maate, a mother who believes in the core of simplifying travel for all new mothers who want to experience life and its joys together with their little ones without giving up on their passion. A very warm welcome to you, Silky. Thank you for joining us on Matehood.
Thank you, Priyanka, for having me. Really excited to share my experiences here.
So first things first, I must congratulate you on having two beautiful children. They're adorable. What are their names?
So my daughter is Khwahish and my desire. That's why we named her Khwahish.
Yeah.
She's 8 years old and my son is 3-year-old, Kabir.
So in today's episode, we'll be talking about something I think which most parents would like to know about, which is traveling with toddlers. It is a very challenging thing for many parents, and for some, it's really easy and part of their everyday life. So how did you come up with such content, and what inspires you to create content around that?
I started back around 6 years back, and it wasn't planned as such that I would be putting out content related to just traveling. I just wanted to showcase my travel with kids. But it picked up. Parents found it really useful, and I was just sharing normally what I was doing.
Yeah.
But there was some value that I was adding to the life of parents who kind of give up traveling after becoming parents, or mothers especially. Because but let me tell you, it seems difficult, but it is not. Once you get the hang of it, how to plan your travels and everything, it becomes very, very easy.
I'm sure. Speaking from personal experience, I have met many parents who think that toddlers or babies, they would not really remember. It doesn't make sense to travel with younger children.
Yeah.
On the other hand, some parents are very convinced and have even done homeschooling because they think traveling around the world is the best experience they can give to their kids. That's the best exposure they have. What do you think? Do you think traveling with toddlers or young babies is worth it?
You're not the first one. Everybody asks the same question. What's the point of traveling when kids are not going to even remember it? And guess what? I'm not traveling just to make them remember, because I personally feel that it's not just the memories, but the experiences that I'm giving to my kids. And if I talk about my daughter, she has learned on the go. The kind of exposure she has got while traveling, meeting new people, even the food that she eats, it's a different food what we eat at home.
Yeah.
So she has picked up in a very, very positive way. If I talk about her communication skills, it's excellent, just because she's very comfortable talking to the strangers as well. So she doesn't have that stranger anxiety, or she's talking to somebody she haven't spoken to. So I think, why should I limit her in just the classroom when the world itself is the whole classroom?
Yeah.
And what I feel the travel can teach her, the classrooms won't be able to teach her what the traveling experiences can give her. We all know the maximum 95% of the brain development happens in the first 4 years. So if you give that kind of stimulation or the exposure to the kids, they are bound to experience out of comfort zone things.
I think it also makes them very confident, very independent. I have also been traveling with my
Yeah.
kids ever since they were born, basically.
Yeah.
I think my daughter, she took her first flight when she was just 5 weeks old,
Okay.
international flight. And ever since she's been traveling with us.
Hmm.
So travel has become such a part of their lives,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
has taught them so many brilliant things. They
Yeah.
have experienced the world, they have met, as you rightly said, they have no anxiety of talking to
Yeah.
strangers and
Exactly.
trying out new things and planning out their days. They become
Yeah.
very organized as well. That's been
Absolutely.
my experience with my kids.
Absolutely.
So, talking about your first trip ever, how old was your baby when you started traveling with them? How it was? there a lot of anxiety and were you nervous?
So I was not just nervous when I delivered, I was nervous whole throughout my pregnancy as well. Because I have been married to my childhood friend. Okay, we both are passionate travelers, but the moment I got pregnant, the only thing that I could hear was, "Ab to aisa nahi chalega." You know, you would have to stop traveling because now when you have a baby, first of all, you can't be spending so much on traveling. Second, how would you take a small child? And I was
Yeah.
like, "Acha dekhenge. We'll see when the baby comes out."
Yeah.
And when the baby came out, first 3 months, I was at home feeding. So I didn't know what to do. But I wasn't happy because I was not doing what I loved. But one fine day, I was on my maternity leave. So first, that time, it was 4 months maternity leave.
Hmm.
6 months happened now. So I thought, let me make a good use of my maternity leaves.
That's
So the first trip I took with my daughter when she was 3 months old, and my husband couldn't travel because he didn't get so many holidays, so I took my mother along, and
the best support
best
system you
support
have
system,
that
and we
time.
went for Dubai for 1 month holiday, and I took my daughter. Very, very scared. I didn't know what to do because
Yeah.
taking a flight,
Yeah.
feeding, how would I manage everything else? But guess what? It was so easy. And I think less than 6 months babies are the most easiest to travel because they're
Yeah.
just on the breastfeed.
Yes.
They don't know anything. Me and my stroller, that's what I needed. And Dubai is a very child friendly country. You have breastfeeding rooms almost all the malls in every corner. The roads and streets and everything is stroller friendly. So I was whole at least 10, 12 hours. I was out with her. She was in her crib. She was sleeping most of the times. And I was out feeding her whenever on the go.
Yeah.
And it went out so smooth. In fact, traveling with 2 to 3 years is a different ball game,
True.
but traveling with less than 1 year baby is very convenient. So when I traveled for the first time, I was like, oh, it's not that big difficult thing which I was just putting on my head. Okay, how would I travel with a baby? So I think
Yeah.
the first trip was that, and that's when I gained the confidence. That confidence was very much needed in me, that
Hmm.
this is possible, what I'm thinking is possible.
I think when you become mother for the first time, there's so many unknowns. And this is one of the steps you're really nervous to take, right? You are
Absolutely.
very nervous, like, would I be able to travel with the baby or not? How will I handle her? So I think that first trip was more for you
Yeah,
than
I agree. The
her,
first one
because
was
as a mother,
definitely
you
for
needed
you.
that break as well. And as
Absolutely.
they rightly said, only happy moms can raise happy kids.
Absolutely.
So it's
Yep.
very much important.
Yep.
So did you make a checklist? Did you come up with all sort of things that you need to like to tick before you could?
I'm a big time planner. I
Okay.
think traveling, one of the most essential thing is planning well in advance.
Yeah.
And when I say the planning, it has to be your flight.
Hmm.
What I discovered during my planning phase is that everybody is ready to support. First of all, your airport has so many facilities when you're traveling with kids. I can list you 10 facilities that
Yeah.
I have experienced myself. Flights,
Hmm.
they give you so much preference if you are traveling with kids, be it your priority boarding, be it your seats allocation, having a bassinet, your food, baby friendly food. So I did my research. I think planning and research was one of the most critical thing, and that helped me a lot. I also researched a lot on stay, whether it's a child friendly house or not. um, I think whenever I travel internationally, my most preference is staying in Airbnbs.
Hmm.
I love staying in Airbnbs. It's more like another home. And I think why I'm able to travel so much with kids because I know what to expect, what not to expect. I have my own. I take the itinerary very, very slow. I'm not in a hush hush. With kids, you cannot. So my checklist is always ready before I go out for travels.
I think it's very much important as well. And if you are stress free, then only you can enjoy that travel time
Absolutely.
with your babies. So staying organized and planning ahead are very crucial. I have been following your content on your social media where you educate a lot about, traveling with toddlers, with younger babies, and also you bust a lot of myths around traveling with kids. So can you tell me a little bit more about things which are not really publicly known to parents when it comes to traveling in the airlines? Are there any benefits, any perks you
Yeah.
get when you're traveling with children?
In international flights, first of all, if the child is less than 2 years old, you get the facility of bassinet. And that's the best thing that you can do. You get a seat where the bassinet is attached to your own seat, which is the benefit that the airline give. But you have to kind of pre-book it before going for your flight.
Yeah.
And then they have all the baby necessary bag with them. You just need to ask.
Yes.
The biggest lesson that I learned, not to shy away and ask for help.
Absolutely.
So, like airlines like Etihad, the Emirates, they all provide. They have all the necessity for kids.
Mhm.
You need a diaper; they would even have diapers with them. You need
Okay.
baby food;
Yeah.
they would have that food as well. Priority boarding is another thing.
Yeah.
The weight of stroller is not considered in your luggage weight. So, if you have the capacity of 30 kgs, you can take your stroller up to the boarding gate of the plane.
Mhm.
And that's what I didn't know about it. I was just carrying my first time, I was
Yeah.
carrying my baby on the lap. And then when I saw the other parents doing it, I also got to know that you they don't calculate the weight of the stroller or a bassinet or your car seat or whatever, something that can go inside the plane. That's not counted, which was a blessing for me, because
Yeah.
you have to walk all the way from the boarding gate to the other places.
Yeah.
And even if you're not carrying your own stroller, you get it at airport free of charge. So you
Okay.
just need to research what facility that airport has
Yeah.
for the kids. And most of the airports also have the breastfeeding rooms as well.
True.
So I think whichever airline you are going, check, open their website,
Hmm.
check what facilities do they provide, even the food options. Another hack that I found out was aisle seat.
Hmm.
I don't sit at the window seat mostly. I sit in the aisle seat so that I can walk with the baby. And mostly I book the seat which are either in front or in the back, so that if I have to walk around with the child, I can't be constraining
Hmm.
a child at one
Hmm.
place. So if I have to walk around, I can walk around with the kid as well. So all these things I figured out on the go, and I've been collating all this information and putting out content here that, guys, you're not alone. You have
Yeah.
airport, airlines facility also supporting to you.
All sort of
So
supports.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think over the years, what I also learned to do is keep a very small stroller, which
Yeah.
can actually go in overhead bins.
Yes.
Otherwise, you just end up waiting on the bells, waiting
Yeah.
for your stroller to come in. So now we tend to travel with a very small single piece stroller, and that's
Absolutely.
been also one of the biggest saviors for us. In terms of documentations, what are the kind of documents you think we should carry while we are traveling with children?
See, internationally, it's mostly passport that is needed. I think the first advice that I would want to give parent is get all the documents sorted the moment the kids are born. Like
Yeah.
for both my kids, within 1 month, I had their Aadhaar card, I had their passport with me.
Hmm.
And as I said, how airline is supporting you, even the passport offices support you. Go there, there's a separate line if you're traveling, if you're going with kids. So they give you preference if you have come for a passport for a baby. So that preference is also given to you. So I think the document piece needs to be sorted. If you're going internationally, I think passport is the only document that is needed. That's a valid document. Rest, I recommend to have a medical insurance too,
Okay.
because outside India, the cost of the medicines
Yeah.
and the doctor visit is really expensive too.
Yeah.
So with a very small cost, you can have your insurance along during the duration of your travel. That's highly recommended.
And if you're just one of the parent traveling without the one of the father or the mother is not traveling along, are there any extra documentation that you require?
Not now. I've traveled with my kids. Just the purpose of the visit is needed. Like
Yeah.
I remember during my second baby, I was traveling again to Dubai with both my kids alone. They stopped me.
Yeah.
They stopped me to ask for where are you going? What is your purpose of visit? They're little vigilant
Hmm.
so that, why are you going alone? Why is the dad not along?
Yeah.
And then I asked them, I said, why are you stopping me? Do you find something different in my passport? They said, no, regular checkup. Then they took me to the customs place. I
Hmm.
said, it's so uncomfortable to take my two babies. I'm anyways alone
Yeah.
to take my two babies. But I think they're being vigilant that
It's
if
for
you,
security reasons. They
yeah,
sometimes some airports even ask for a declaration from the parent who's not traveling
yeah, yeah.
that I'm okay that they're traveling with the mom
Depends
because
upon the
yeah,
country to country if they
yeah,
are,
it's also
yeah,
some countries have it as a law.
yeah.
Um, this is something I have experienced myself, and while on the flight traveling with younger babies, sometimes it can get very stressful for the moms. So I have had experiences when children are just very cranky, babies are very cranky, they're nonstop crying, and um, it was a horrifying experience I had. So the crew was not supportive, the passengers were not supportive, and literally you are emotionally so drained because your
Yeah,
baby is
yeah.
nonstop crying, and you literally do not know like what to
What to
do,
do?
where to go,
Yeah.
how to make the baby stop, how to comfort the baby. And that can be a very, very stressful situation for the moms. How do you think mothers should tackle such a situation?
I think I have faced it too. If you
Yeah,
have traveled with kids, you don't know about your child mood. They can be cranky anytime. And the small babies, you don't even know why they're crying.
absolutely.
So few of the hacks that I found out was one of the most common reason is ear pain.
Hmm.
How would you ensure that the ear pain is subsidized? So feeding at the time when the plane kicks off or the flight is about to board is, I think, is helped.
Yeah.
If the child is a little big, you can give a pacifier to suck basically so that the ear pain is not there. That's the most common reason why the kids cry.
Hmm.
Second, what hack has helped me is take the flight during the sleep time of the child. I
Yeah.
think that has helped me a lot. That take nighttime flights. That's when the kids are mostly sleeping. If you are taking the flight at the time when your child is most active, which is like your evening times when their routine says they are supposed to be in park, but we are constraining them and restricting them in a airplane.
Yeah.
So that hack is already helped. So I won't deny I have faced this a lot once I was going to Goa, and it becomes a little embarrassing when everybody's looking at you. The
Hmm.
child is continuously crying. Accept it.
Yeah.
First is
Yeah.
first accept that situation, that this can happen, and there
Hmm.
is nothing wrong. We all have been kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong, even if the stranger or person sitting next to you is staring you at you because the
Yes.
child is
Yes.
crying. And that
And
has
make it
happened
even
with
more
me.
difficult.
Yes, that has happened with me. The person sitting just two seats ahead even asked me, can you please make your child stop
Stop.
crying?
How?
Yeah, how? You tell me. You can hold the baby and tell
Yeah.
me how. So it has happened with me. I think accept the situation. First of all, you
Hmm.
need to
Hmm.
accept it, because if you start feeling uncomfortable about the situation, you would be more stressed than the baby.
Yeah.
I think the only time when you have to be on your seat when the seatbelt sound is on.
Hmm.
Otherwise, make use or go back, pat on the back. Like whenever I have to make my child sleep, I always go back,
Yeah.
pat on the back, just take a strolling little bit and calm them down. For the smaller kids where they cannot speak, you have to
Hmm.
try your ways out what is making them uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And for the kids who can speak, I think the best way is to bring a busy bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's my hack. So I
Yeah.
always carry a busy bag which has all the small things which keeps them entertained or keep them hooked on,
Yeah.
like a coloring book or some
Toys.
puzzles or some toys which keep them engaged. If it's a long flight of 6 to 7 hours,
Yeah.
that has helped me a lot. I think these are the few hacks that I would recommend.
I've had experiences on the train travels as well. I think all moms do.
Yeah,
And I think in trains, children, they tend to run around. They're kids,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Kids being kids, and they are passengers who are complaining. Can you make your child sit?
yeah,
And I have heard of stories where parents are like distributing candies and apologizing upfront to fellow passengers, like, my kid can be loud. Please, I hope it's going to be a good
yeah.
journey for you. We apologize in advance. Do you think parents should be apologetic about this?
If it is just a normal kid behaving as a normal
Yeah.
thing, I don't think so. There's a reason to apologize because they at the end they are kids.
Yeah.
But if like I think 2 to 3 years age is the most difficult because I'm going through
Absolutely.
that. So that age kid is super hyperactive. So
Hmm.
within that hyperactiveness, if the child by mistake has hit someone or gone cross the line, then
Yeah.
apology is needed. If they are just being talking or doing what a normal kid is supposed to do, don't be apologetic for anything.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
and on the contrary, I find train travel to be very very good. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, my I had taken my kids to train travel as well. And even the cruise, these two modes of travel, I completely love it. The train travel thing, why I loved it was because first of all, kids were not restricted at one place. It's like a house party happening for them. They can go up, down, play here and there. So my kids have totally enjoyed the train travel,
Yeah.
and the flexibility is there. You can pre-book your meals as well. So that option is also available now. IRCTC, you can also get an online order delivered whenever there is a stoppage on any of the station.
Yes.
So that facility can also be available. But you should go to the IRCTC website,
Hmm.
look at which all stations these facilities are provided. So that can be availed too.
Okay.
And I think the washrooms
Hmm.
in the train, if you are traveling on non AC, can tend to be a bit not hygienic because it's
Yeah.
been used by a lot of public people. So take some hygiene kit or a sanitizing spray or something like that, so
Hand
that
wash and these
hand
things
wash,
with
those
you.
basic
Yeah.
sanitary things. If you're going on some, like in an AC one or third, second class or first class, maybe it's much better. But if you're planning to go by the slipper class, then
Hmm.
take your hygiene kit along with you,
Hmm. Hmm.
paper soaps and all those things. And if you were a breastfeeding mom, do it openly. I mean, you're doing the best world best thing, so do it openly, do it confidently.
Yes.
That's what I would recommend.
And enjoy it,
Enjoy the
which is the
journey.
most important
Enjoy the
part of
journey.
it.
Why are you doing this? To enjoy the journey, enjoy your
True.
travels. So enjoy the journey. Let the kids also explore the surrounding, meet new people.
Yes.
So they'll come back with a lot of stories. I remember when I was a child, it was mostly through train travel,
Yes.
and I still remember the people I've met during the journey. I still remember that auntie telling me my daughter stays in Delhi and she do this work and that work. So you can ignite a lot of good conversations with the
Hmm.
strangers when you're
Hmm.
traveling by train. So for me, the experiences of train travel has
Yes.
been really good. And if given a chance, where do you want to travel by train or flight, I would go for train option.
So, most of the times, I think as parents, we tend to reach the airport or the train stations much in advance because we want to, save all that hassle. And once you're done with all the check in, security, you have a lot of time in your
Yeah.
hands. So, how do you think parents should be engaging their children during that time? And if you're a breastfeeding mom, how can you kind of, really ensure that you are feeding your child in public? And I mean, how do you tackle such a situation?
Yeah. See, first of all, what I've learned after becoming a mother is that you cannot do hush hush things.
Yeah.
You need to first slow down and give ample of time. If we were not parents, we can afford to reach end moment 45 minutes before the boarding. I can go and just hop and just
Absolutely.
go. With the kids, you need to have extra time in your hand, which is very important. And I ensure that I reach well in advance because for me it's not the destination. Honestly, I want to enjoy the journey as well. I want my kids to enjoy airport as well. Honestly, I love airports. I love the play areas that's given in airport. I make sure that I go to the lounges, sit there, relax, chill. So I am never in hush situation. I want to just be very calm and let my kids enjoy that journey of reaching to the destination.
Yeah.
Now, coming to feeding in public,
Hmm.
I think I am not scared at all. I'm not ashamed of it. It's the most
Absolutely.
natural thing, and everybody has done it. Every other woman has done it.
Yeah.
So I have my own feeding apron. I just take it along and I can sit anywhere and I can feed my kids. And now airports have those breastfeeding rooms. If you are a mom who is still not comfortable, make use of those rooms. If you have gained that confidence, then you can feed in public as well. I
Absolutely.
think one of the other hack that has worked that it reminded me is, before you're boarding the flight, make use of the play areas in the airport.
Hmm.
Let your child run to exhaust their energy
Yeah.
as much as they can, so that when they go to the flight, they're actually tired and they can have a good sleep.
Yeah.
So that can also be done. So my recommendation here to parents would be that do not make it as a stressful affair.
True.
All at the end, why are you traveling?
Absolutely.
You're traveling for the peace of mind, to
Yeah.
enjoy the experiences. Airport itself is an experience. So what I've done with the elder one, I think that's another thing that I keep telling parent is, I make a list of the things which I tell my elder one that, okay, these are the 10 things that, like a treasure hunt, these are the 10 things that you have to notice at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So I make a list of those 10 things, and I've also printed it out. No need to buy any books. I've
Yeah.
printed it out.
Yeah.
So whenever you find that place, just tick mark that. So she's always busy in observing.
Hmm.
Okay, like for an example, I've told her, like seat belts, the luggage belts. Okay. So she will tick mark. Okay, I've noticed luggage belts. The second thing
Yeah.
is, have you
Yeah.
seen any plane boarding? So, okay, she'll tick mark. Even for the location, I think this has worked great for me.
Yeah.
Recently, last year when I went to Singapore with my kids, so I have made the list of 20 things for my daughter that you have to notice.
Absolutely.
And she did it. Her eyes were always observing those 2-3 things. So
Yeah.
even when we were talking about airport, I always try to make that as an experience for her,
Hmm.
so that she starts enjoying that. Because it's not when you reach the destination then your traveling starts.
Yeah.
When the
No,
moment you're
absolutely.
out of your house, you're in different world, so you have
And I
to
think kids
start
are
learning
very
from there.
curious and
They
they
are.
love it when you engage them
Absolutely.
and you make it all about them basically. And this travel you're taking with them is all for them, right?
Yeah.
So if you engage them, you do some sort of activities and fun, I think they tend to
I-
enjoy it more.
I agree.
And in fact, yesterday only I was reading about it. How do you inculcate mindfulness in children?
Hmm.
And so for kids, it's not about sitting and doing meditation, right?
Yeah,
For kids, it's about learning to be present in that moment, learning to
absolutely.
really experience um, the the places and their environment, their surroundings. So that is the kind of mindfulness we need to practice with our kids.
I agree.
And while you're traveling to different places, as you rightly said, you make them understand and you engage them in such a way that they really notice everything what is going around them,
Yep.
even if it is being on the airport or be it in a museum or
Yep.
anywhere you're
Yep.
traveling to. So that's just such a fantastic or a wonderful way to keep them hooked to it.
Compassion is one of the very good thing that they have learned, even towards the to animals, or towards, and even I have become very compassionate. Forget about kids, I have learned so much. I'll give you an example. I was coming from Africa, one of the flights, I was alone there. Okay, same scenario. One of the moms, her baby was not able to sleep, baby was crying. I couldn't see that. I said, okay, you calm down,
Yeah.
I will handle the baby for you. I got up from my seat. I tapped on the baby. I just took him,
How
the baby here
lovely.
and there. Said, being a mother, I can understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
So I think that has taught me also compassion, or made me learned how I can tackle kids in flight. And she was maybe, she was just traveling alone without the husband. So
Okay.
I think you have to also stop.
Oh,
That's what the message I
absolutely.
would want to give to that. Become compassionate towards the other mothers who you find it during the
Absolutely.
travel, because you cannot do alone. I mean, you need support from
Oh,
everyone.
absolutely. And I think that is the kind of community we are building here through Matehood.
Yeah.
So this is a community of moms where we support each other, be there for each other, and that is exactly the concept we are trying to bring in. Let's talk about food, because that can be one very stressful thing for moms. If children are not eating well, and some kids are really fuzzy, they do not like to eat outside or try out new food. So how do you tackle that situation, and what are the key things moms should keep in mind while traveling with kids when it comes to planning their lunches and dinners and breakfast, or even in the flight?
It's the most hot topic of food.
Yeah.
Every mother wants to know about food, and especially food during travels, because
Yeah.
it's a new experience for them. So what I do is, first of all, I always have a plan B ready. So plan A is make them experience the local food.
Hmm.
because that's how they will learn about the new cuisine and everything. So when I took my daughter to Europe trip, it was her first Europe trip, and I didn't know whether she'll be able to adapt the food, local food or not. But the plan was I have to introduce her.
Yeah.
That's where, like, from Amsterdam, she picked up waffles,
Trop waffle.
fries, and then
Yeah.
we went to Switzerland. There, she loved cheese and fondue and all those
Yeah.
things. She picked up that. From Italy, she picked up the pasta. I think that was my first goal, to make her try everything.
Yes.
And then comes plan B.
Hmm.
And don't laugh about the plan B, okay? That's very important. So I was staying in Airbnb, and that was the first trip when she was 1.5 year old.
Mhm.
I took her for Europe trip. I took 1 kg of atta with me.
Okay.
Okay, because I know this is our comfort food, and I was staying in
Paratha.
Airbnb. Paratha is a
Yeah.
comfort food. If nothing else, paratha is there.
Yeah.
1 kg of atta and one rolling pin, our Indian belan. That's it.
Hmm.
That was my plan B. In case she rejects anything, you get everything in grocery. Even you get an egg or you get bread and everything. But paratha is a comfort food.
Yeah.
So whenever I used to go out for whole day trip, I used to just take one egg and one paratha with her.
Hmm.
And it was my plan B, which is always ready.
Hmm.
I think that has helped me. Next is your dry snacks. Okay, thepla is one thing that I strongly recommend, that if you're a person who is very much attached to Indian food, your thepla is your savior.
Yes. Yes.
So everybody loves thepla. And I think the travel food, even for flight as well, because flight food generally, either you research whether the flight they are giving the kids kid friendly food or not. If not, I've always taken a plan B for me. But as a parent, I would suggest, do not be fuzzy about it. Let the child experience the local food.
Yeah.
And that's how my daughter has learned.
Hmm.
But on a contrary, my son is not like that. My son is little fuzzy about eating.
Yeah.
So I'm always ready with my bag full of things. And it's truly said, you can't travel light with kids. You
No,
have
no,
to have
absolutely.
everything with you.
So while we're traveling, I think it's a short time, right? It's a shorter duration, 3-4 days. Should we as mothers be extremely worried about not children not having enough to eat or larger meals as they tend to eat at home? Because at home, it's a structure, a routine they follow.
Yeah.
But while you're traveling, of course, they tend to ignore things because they are very excited. They want to
Yeah.
explore things.
I think at the end, it's a holiday.
Mhm.
It's a holiday for kids as well. So let them enjoy the holiday rather than giving a structured approach to it. You don't have to give a structured approach when you are traveling. Let them be
Yes.
free in what they want to eat, and even junk is okay.
Yeah.
During travel, they let them eat junk, because whatever routine you want to set up at home.
Yeah.
But it's their holiday as well.
Holiday should feel like holiday.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they skip the meal, if they're just having snack and not the main course meal, I am
Hmm.
okay with that. And why
Hmm.
not? Because let them decide. How would you
Yes.
teach them that their stomach is full, or
Mhm.
this is the max they want to eat? So I think that's the hunger cues. Let your child understand. Maybe you know your home food, how much the
Yes.
child is filled or not filled. But when you're trying something new, let the child decide on it. And
Okay.
the best you can do is, at the end of the day, you can ask simply, are you full? Are you okay?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's better talk rather than forcing them ki ye kha lo or eat this.
Hmm.
Ask them, are you full? Do you feel like eating something else? I think that has helped me to talk about it rather than pushing
Yeah.
around it. So
Absolutely.
that's what I do.
We should not go overboard with feeding them and make everything about that
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
It has to be a
Exactly.
good combination of exploring places and
Yep.
food and people. It has to be a
Absolutely.
good
Yeah.
combination of everything. Absolutely. Um, what is the most common question you get from parents when it comes to traveling with kids?
How do you afford it?
Hmm.
Honestly, that's the most common question. How do you afford it? How do you afford these many travels?
Yeah.
And I think it's my personal choice.
Mhm.
That's the answer I give to them. It's the choices in life that I have made. And if I am spending here, I'm not spending in some other places which you are spending at.
Yes.
Okay. I am still on a rented house, and that's my choice. I would rather save and spend on my kids' experiences.
Hmm.
So if somebody asks me this question, that's the thing I say first is, that's why I'm doing 9 to 5 job.
Hmm.
I have a 9 to 5 job to fund my travels. I'm not born with a golden spoon
Hmm.
that somebody is funding my travels, nor am I a big travel influencer or something that everything is hosted. I am saving,
Hmm.
and I'm not counting countries, or I'm not doing 10 travels a year, one trip at a time.
Mhm.
So I'm not somebody who's always out because I have my full-time job as well. I have my kids, I have their schools as well.
Yeah.
So I save for the entire year, and I take that saving to spend on my kids' experiences. And my mom will say, "Shadi ke liye kya chhodna hai?"
So I think it's all about
Your
setting the
priorities,
priorities
yeah,
for
yeah, your
yourself and your
choices, your
kids.
priorities. How do you see your life?
Hmm.
If you want to save for some other thing, you want to save for your new car, save it, man. This is what you need. I want to save it for my kids' experiences.
Yes.
And I have set my choices and my priorities.
Yeah.
So I don't get something extra which I can get everything.
Hmm.
I've picked up what I want from my life.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
have to
the
really see what works for you as a family
Yep.
and for your kids, because every family is different, every child is different.
Yep.
So you need to set the priorities accordingly.
Absolutely. And another question, as you said, is I get a lot of questions on travel itineraries, or is this place okay for kids or not?
Yeah.
Should I go with kids? I'm like, every place is okay for kids. Why not? Even if you go to mountains to snow,
Yeah.
that place is okay for the kids. You want to go on a cruise holiday, that's okay for kids. All you have to do is plan
Yes.
what kind of holiday you want. There is no place in the world, because every place would have kids. There is no place in the world where you can't take your child. First, what you like, what kind of vacation do you like?
Yes.
I am a slow traveler. Okay. And the question which I raised is, how many countries have you visited?
Mm-hmm.
People do that. Now we are in an Instagram phase where everything is out.
True.
1 country, 2 country, tick mark, 3 country, 4 country. I'm like, I am not counting it. I am just doing one place at a time, and let me just soak that in.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing. Where you want to take, it depends upon your choice of places you want to go. You are a beach person, you're a mountain person. Kids can adapt very quickly. They are the biggest absorber of places.
Tell me which have been your most favorite destinations to travel with kids, and why? Why do you think that's the best destination to go with your kids?
Okay. Mine would be different. With kids, it's different. So, so
True.
with kids, I think Singapore and Dubai is really good. And the
Okay.
reason to say that is there are a lot of things that you can really do with kids.
Mhm.
I get a lot of questions, how many days to stay in Dubai? And like, Dubai is a place where you can stay even for a month. You'll
Yeah.
not be finishing off the ticking off the places, or you can stay for 4 days as well. So I think Singapore and Dubai has a lot of kid-friendly places.
Mm-hmm.
The everything, even as I spoke about breastfeeding rooms, stroller-friendly places, even the bus. I have traveled in Singapore in bus as well with my child.
Yeah.
How? Because when the bus opens, you can take your stroller up, which is very, very smooth. You don't have to even pick up your stroller even for once. The parking space for strollers. So I think for kids, I would highly recommend these two places, but both are very close to equator, hot places.
Mm-hmm.
So find out a good month to go, because I
True.
think the weather matters a lot. It can
Yes.
it can be your make or break kind of situation. If the weather is not good, your kid will neither enjoy or not you would enjoy.
Yeah.
So I think I always recommend to go into the time which is a good weather, so that you can be out. You can't be inside
True.
with the kids. So I think with kids, these two places are best.
And talking about India, what are the places in India you would suggest?
India with kids.
Yes.
I loved Kashmir.
Hmm.
I think it's very beautiful. Kashmir, I went with both my kids. I went both the season, in summer and winter, both of the time.
Yeah.
It's extremely beautiful. I think if you want your kid to be closer to the nature, I think that's very good. Because in India, rather than going to a amusement park or something, I would rather take my kids towards the nature. So Kashmir is really good because they would understand the real natural beauty. And second, I would say the entire Rajasthan belt is beautiful. I took my daughter to Jaisalmer during the New Year holiday, and we stayed in a tent, which was like a dream vacation for her because we were next to the desert. There was camel riding and all those things happening. I think that was extremely beautiful.
Yeah.
If you happen to plan around November, December, that's the best weather. Otherwise, deserts are generally very, very hot.
Yeah.
So I think India has a different landscapes.
Mhm.
So I, more than any amusement park or something, take your kids to different landscape from north Kashmir to down south Kerala backwaters. I've taken my daughter to
Yes,
Kerala
yes.
backwaters. From the west side, you have deserts. So
Yeah.
I think my daughter has picked up these words actually by during the travel. And I've taken her to Darjeeling, the tea plantation, Munnar, Gangtok, that
How
side.
nice.
So I think if you ask me India, show them the landscapes, show them
Yeah.
different landscapes
There's
in
just
India.
so much to see in
Which
India.
is so much to see. Rather than I would never take them to any such malls and amusement park in
Yeah.
India. India is very, very, very scenic. So let them explore those places.
And every part of the country is just so different to
It's so
experience.
different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you just mentioned that you're a full-time working mom. So, and I'm sure there's so many moms who are working and want to travel with kids, but always find it difficult to balance both the things.
Yep.
What would be your suggestions to mothers on traveling with kids while you're working full-time?
Yeah, thank you for the question, because that's one of the another most question that people ask to me, that you have a full-time job, then how do you manage
Yeah.
the travels? The first thing, I am not traveling very frequently. One travel at a time is my funda. So I visit one country, take a pause, then go to my office 6 months regularly, then take
Yeah.
another travel. So I think the first most important thing which I recommend is set up the expectation with your manager.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing, because if you don't have the right expectation setting with your manager, you won't even get a holiday.
Yeah.
Okay. So plan your calendar well.
Yes.
So the moment the year starts, see your long holidays, long weekends in advance. So my entire year is already planned.
Yes.
Except the festivals. If it's not festival, I plan the holidays accordingly. So if it's a long weekend, I combine with the 4-day working days. And that's when I apply the leave in advance. So my manager is aware about it, that this is the time when I'll be unavailable. Having said that, I'm also mentally prepared that if there's something that comes up which is emergency, I'm always ready to work on that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think as a working mother, the biggest thing is planning your expenses. I
Yes.
think as a working mom and as an earning professional, I think that I'm a very financially independent person.
True.
So I'm able to make those choices, that how I want to lead my life. If had it been a situation that I was not very much financially independent, or I was dependent on somebody else, then things would have been a very different way.
True.
And now I have my own choices which I want to take, where I want to take my kids. And now in this era, I think two parents working together, it's a value addition,
Absolutely.
because you can just not focus on your basic necessity of life, but you can splurge a bit on your
True.
own extra
Added
choices that you have,
experiences,
added
yes.
experiences in your life. So that's
And I think planning becomes very, very important in terms of affordability as well. So if you're
Yeah.
planning ahead, you're booking everything in advance, it becomes a
Yeah.
very affordable trip
yeah.
when we come back to the expenses part
Absolutely,
of
yeah.
the holidays.
I think that's what I do. And one of the content I did around planning ahead was
Yeah.
booking your flight well in advance. The more early you book, the cheaper the flights that you get. And I actually enjoy that phase. If I book the ticket 6 months in advance, that 6 months I'm very much mentally occupied, because I'm just planning those 6 months. My booking is always 6 months in advance. Hotels, I plan again a bit in advance. And then when I travel, the local expenses that is there, the entire itinerary day wise, I
Yeah.
plan it well in advance, so that I know, like, I'm a person who should know before you're stepping in that country what exactly you need to do,
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
supposed to do, because I've limited number of days while traveling, because the number of leaves I have applied, I know the number of leaves I cannot extend more than that.
Yes.
So I'm aware what I need to do. Having said that, there should be a flexibility of changes. Initially, I used to get very upset. I'll be very honest that I'm not able to see the places which I wanted to see. I'll give you an example. I'm going to Paris, or I'm going to Kashmir. I did not see Gulmarg.
Yeah.
Because my child was cranky that day, or my child was not ready that day, or he fell sick.
Yeah.
I used to get upset
Okay.
that, I have come here to see that place, but I'm not
Yeah.
able to see it. But I've
You
learned
have to be flexible.
you have to be flexible.
You're
I've
traveling.
learned that you have to accommodate a little emergency during
Absolutely.
your travel, be it skipping a place, be it food wise, or be it a day when you are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be just not okay traveling, because
I
this
think
has
that
happened to
comes with
me.
motherhood
Yeah,
anyways. You learn to
that
compromise on things and take
yes.
a back seat.
And if it was me and my husband just traveling, we were like hoppers. Aaj we
yeah.
have to complete 5 places, tick mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. With kids,
True.
it's okay to even hop. That's a change I've seen in myself. That I'm
Hmm.
okay to even, like, we went to Singapore. We didn't even go to the Singapore Zoo
Mhm.
because that day my kids just wanted to stay in hotel and do nothing. I'm like, okay, let me enjoy what my kids want to do. So you need to plan for those emergency. Do not look for covering all the places.
Absolutely.
That's very important.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about packing, like bringing all the stuff with you. What are the 5 things which are must have to pack while you're traveling with toddlers and you just simply cannot do without?
Okay. So as I said, I always have my busy bag with me. So I call it busy bag or an entertainment bag. It's
Yeah.
a must. A road travel or a train travel or a plane travel, it's always with me. And my kids look forward for it. So I also involve my daughter to pack that busy bag. Take the things which you want to enjoy or do. So I think always have some piece of entertainment for kids if it is a long journey. Second, plan B of food. What if your kids do not accept the local food? What options do you have? Like
Yeah.
when my son was 8 months, I took those grinded oats with me. So when he, as a plan B, in case he rejects all the food, I know the milk will be available. I'll just put milk and oats,
Yeah.
and that should be a good option to give. So 3-4 good options for a food alternative in case your child is not there.
Yes.
Third is extra pair of clothes. Kids can spoil clothes anytime. Even if it is your day travel or your long journey, you should take extra pair of clothes with you. And fourth, I would say I do that is journaling. I love it, and I think I've incorporated that habit in my daughter as well. To journal what her thoughts are. So I take her journaling book.
Yes.
Even if
yes.
she can draw, do whatever, because I am not doing travel for just for the sake of covering up the place.
Yes.
So that taking her diary along, or what you have seen in a day, I
Yes.
spend an hour with her before the sleep. What did you like today? What is a different thing that you have seen? So that she can put her thoughts together. It's a learning experience for us.
It's
So
a
I think
fantastic way of helping them to
Yes.
express their emotions as
Yep.
well, what they felt today, how they
Yep.
experienced the places.
what did they like and what
Yeah.
they didn't like also.
True.
I also asked them what you didn't
Totally.
like, and is there something that you didn't like in me, or I did not react in a good way. I asked those questions as well. So I think that gives me a lot of different perspective. Maybe I was thinking the day has went very well, and maybe she hasn't liked at all.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, and her things, which what she tells me are so simple, which I didn't even think about it. I liked sitting at the back seat of the bus. That's what she told me. We went
Children
to
have a very different
very
perspective.
different
Sometimes
perspective.
we,
Yeah, I will.
they surprise us how
Yeah.
they think and perceive things.
Exactly. When we went to Universal Studio, I asked her, "What did you like?" She said, "I like the metro with which we went to the Universal Studio." So asking kids, and that's why I say take your journaling books
Yes.
along with you.
Yes.
If their kids are not comfortable writing, let them express, drawing, whatever they can do. And the fifth is some cutlery, some little in terms of your hygiene and all. If you can
Yeah.
take your own cutlery along with you, because kids can feel hungry wherever they want. They will not wait for reaching
Yeah.
to a restaurant or eating. So take it along with you, along with some tissues, extra tissues and wipes. I think
Mhm.
that's important if you're sitting somewhere or they will make themselves dirty. So take that along as well. So that's what the top 5 things I would recommend.
I think it's a very good and extensive list. It's going to be very useful for the moms who are watching us
Right.
right now.
Yeah.
In terms of takeaways, so when you travel with children, as you rightly said, it's not about ticking the check boxes,
Yeah.
but it is actually learning, experiencing, and bringing some memories home with you. So, what are the biggest changes or takeaways you would say your children have taken home from their trips and holidays?
Okay. I think the first of all is one thing that I've seen in my kids is they're very open to talk to anyone.
Hmm.
So I won't call them an introvert person. They are
Yes.
very, very extrovert. They love talking. They can, my daughter especially, she can sit with you an hour and talk on any topic. So I think travel has given that openness in her that she's able to talk to anyone very comfortably. That's number one. Second is seeing the world from different lens. I mean, now that she knows that world is not limited to Gurgaon,
Oh, yes.
the
Yes.
world is not limited to her society and her school.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much more to it,
Mm-hmm.
and there is how the different people are living in different part of the world or different cities.
Yes.
So when I was growing up, I only knew या तो डॉक्टर बन सकते हैं तो इंजीनियर बन सकते हैं.
Mm-hmm.
We only knew this.
Hmm.
यही
Hmm.
पता है हमें.
Hmm.
Now she knows that she can be anything. She can become anything she wants to be in her life. And it's not the conventional ways of growing, convention work, but she can choose even a car driver. She tells me when she saw a lady driving in Dubai, she told me even ladies are driving the cab. I said, why not?
Mm-hmm.
So she
So
can see
wonderful. Yeah.
how different perspective to how the world is living their life
True.
and not limiting to how we are living at this currently in era of Gurgaon
Yeah.
city.
Yeah. And I think that truly opens up their world
Yeah,
and how they look at different aspects of life and how they
absolutely.
react to it.
Yeah.
So that is very, very important. It's a bit of a tricky question.
Yeah.
If you were given a choice to travel the world for a year and keep the children like homeschooling or take them with you on this world tour, would you accept it? Would you be okay for them skip school and go traveling? I mean, why I'm asking this? Because I believe traveling teaches you a lot more,
Yep.
and
Agree.
it's a one of a kind experience children have. So, would you accept such an offer and
I would love
skip
I
school
would
for a
love
year?
to do that. And you won't believe I was just talking to my mom right here and I said, I'm traveling in 2 boats at the moment. I'm doing
Hmm.
my full-time job
Hmm.
and I am doing this travel blogging.
Yeah,
If given a chance, I would want to choose one and that would be traveling.
true.
So I'm very passionate about it because I can see a difference in myself. And I'm pretty sure that what I'm experiencing, I would want to give it to my kids as well.
Absolutely.
So I would be open any day to do it. Um, and one day, fine day, I think I'll take that plunge myself. So the question that you asked,
Hmm.
I would be happy to go for a world tour, taking my kids along.
Yeah,
There would be nothing best than that.
anytime.
Anytime.
I would accept it anytime.
Anytime, yeah. And what
Totally.
they will learn during that 1 year of traveling would be
Yes.
far more than anything else that can teach them.
Yes.
Cultures, different cities, and different food, and being uncomfortable. I would say being uncomfortable is the most best learning. I mean, they are in a comfort zone at their home, they know their routine, and let them be uncomfortable to
Hmm.
become comfortable.
What would you say to people who cannot really afford to travel? Because I mean, we have spoken a lot about it, how enriching travel can be,
Hmm.
the kind of experiences children get from it. But of course, there are families who want to travel but may not be able to afford to travel. What would be your recommendation to them, like how they can inculcate this experience into
Yeah.
their children's lives?
So what I'm talking today is my situation in 2024.
Hmm.
If I say back in 2013, 2014, I was same.
Yeah.
I had to think 10 times before I plan for any travel. And travel doesn't mean just international travels.
True.
Travel means going out of your house. The whole point is,
Absolutely.
yeah, going out of your whole point is do not restrict yourself at your home.
Yeah.
See what you have, the world has to offer to you.
Hmm.
I mean, go to just a ghat
Mhm.
or a Ganga place or
Mhm.
anywhere where you can see much more than what you see at your house.
Just a different
So,
surrounding, a different
different
situation.
surroundings. So,
Yeah.
start slow. Nobody is, do not expect that you will just keep going hopping the countries. Go out, look at different places, or go to the nature.
Yeah.
I mean, spend some time with nature because at the end, it's an art, right? It's not houses and everything has been built later. So,
Yes.
how would you see the different places and get accustomed to the different landscape and cultures and the climate and everything?
Absolutely. No, you very rightly said it. And that was the reason I was asking, because it's not really about traveling international or going to
Yeah,
far
yeah, yeah.
places, but it can be something very simple, or visiting a park in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
or experiencing a new.
Or even mandir, I would say.
Yes.
If you are a
Yes.
religious person,
Yes.
if you are a religious person, I am not that much, but
Mhm.
if you are a religious person, then go out and explore different places, different religious
True.
places, but at least
But
go
make
out
it a
of your
part of your
house.
life. Make
Yeah.
it a part of
Yeah,
your life. That's very
make it,
important.
and inculcate that as a lifestyle,
Yes.
so that you're open, your thought process is open.
True.
You're not limiting yourself with what you see 24/7. You have a different thought process altogether when you travel and talk to different people. It's about talking to different people as well.
Absolutely.
So you will learn about their experiences in life. As much as you will talk to different people, your mind gets open more.
Truly. Tell me about a situation where you have run into some sort of emergency. Have you ever run into any emergencies, and how you have tackled it?
I have. So when my daughter was same Rajasthan trip,
Hmm.
so my daughter loves eating egg.
Mhm.
Okay, and every morning the breakfast was just egg
Yeah.
because she's very comfortable eating egg.
Hmm.
So I think the regular giving of egg for 4 5 days in the breakfast has given her some allergy.
Yeah.
So when we were in Rajasthan, her whole face got allergic,
Oh.
and there were the water pimples on her face. So what I did was I did not panic first of all.
Hmm.
I have my doctor on call number. So that's he like I would recommend if you have if you're traveling, have your doctor number with you. So I sent a picture to my doctor.
Yeah.
So he said go to a local hospital and get her blood test done so that if what kind of allergy it is.
Yeah.
So I went to the local hospital, got her blood test done, and we got the report next morning, and he said it's a normal allergy, just keep taking medicine. I also had a double mind, I should come back home. Why am I doing it
Mhm.
if she's not well? But she was okay. It was just the pimple she had, but she was okay. She was active and playing and all those things.
Yes.
So the question is, can you fall into emergency? Yes.
Yes.
Why not? Your
Yes.
child can trip, your child can fall. If I, as I earlier mentioned, travel insurance is must, because if in India it's still affordable, if it is outside India, it's absolutely expensive.
True.
So make use of those travel expenses, medical insurance. Second, accept it. I mean, I always tell that accept
And
it.
be prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Take a medicine. I always take a medicine. Maybe we didn't touch about this topic, but I did. I always take a medicine bag with me. All those little emergency medicine of fever or cold, cough. So there is always a
True.
medicine bag which I should add it in the must essentials to carry
Yes.
as well. So your
Yes.
small things can be catered,
Hmm.
and I mean that's how I would say it will add as a memory in your experiences that this is what you faced, and your child will also learn along with it.
Yeah.
That this is a situation you faced and how did you handle. So
True.
you are making your child learn how to handle the unexpected.
True.
So it's not just you learning, the way you
Mhm.
handle the situation, you reacted, your child will get the same way of reacting to the same
Absolutely.
situation.
Because we also tend to kind of avoid this,
Yeah.
avoid traveling, because we keep thinking, what if?
What if? Yeah.
What if they fall sick?
Yeah.
What if something happens? They're too little to travel. This may happen, that may
This
happen.
can
So,
happen here also. I mean, if
yeah.
you're staying here, it can happen
So,
here also. It After I came back, I was thinking if I go again and again, this happened because she got allergic to the food of some other place. What if I go to a new place and she gets allergic to something else? So when I came back, I got all her allergy tests done.
yeah.
So now I know she's allergic to fish and she's allergic to egg. So now this is what I learned. Imagine if I didn't go anywhere, I would not even got to know that my daughter is allergic to fish or egg.
True.
So this is something I got to know while traveling only.
True.
So I took it in my stride that, yeah, this is the challenge that I have, but does that mean I should stop doing it? No, I mean, I can stop her now, but when she'll grow up, she'll go out in the world.
Yeah.
And how can I stop her then?
No,
So,
totally.
yeah.
You're preparing them for the future.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's the best way of doing it. Has safety ever been a concern for you? And have you ever prepared for like yourself to stay safe during your journey, carry something with you to ensure that, if there's any situation I run into, this is how I'm going to tackle the situation?
So one of the strict no's is no food from the strangers. That's one of the strict no's that is there for
And
the
that's
kids.
something we've been learning since we were kids.
Yeah.
And now teaching our kids.
Yeah. So we have to tell them that no matter where you are, if you want to eat something, let us know. We'll get
Yeah.
for you rather than taking it from someone, because even the person is genuine, you don't know
Yeah.
what are they offering, and we've heard stories about it. Rest about safety, I think you should have your emergency numbers with you. If you're booking, like if it is a known hotel, then it is fine.
Yeah.
If it is the Airbnb, read the reviews, I would say. Like if I'm traveling internationally, the first thing is if I'm booking an Airbnb, I make sure that I read each and every review of it.
Yeah.
What the other people who have stayed there has spoken about it, and who's really managing it. Is the key of the house is with the owner itself? Do they have access to the house or not? Who's coming for cleaning? Who's not coming for cleaning? So all these things add to the safety, because I remember one of the places I stayed, the house is opened by a code. So I asked the owner that how many people knows the code
who
of
all
it?
have this code.
Who all
Yeah.
have the code, and then he mentioned every time you check out, I change the code. So only one person, the house owner and the cleaning lady, has the code of it.
Yeah.
So all those aspects, and
Be aware of the
be aware of the
surroundings and
scenario, and
situations. Yeah.
book a place which is not very isolated, which is within the city, near to the main places. And with kids,
and
you
have
need
all
to
the emergency numbers handy.
along with.
Do you carry any safety kit with you, like a pepper spray or something?
When I'm traveling alone, I do. When I'm traveling with kids, it's my husband's responsibility to take care of the things. I travel alone a lot. I've traveled extensively alone. So I travel a safety kit with me, but I haven't used it ever. I don't want to use it ever. But
absolutely.
I think it's not that bad a safe place. I mean, world is a safe place. It's all how good you are to the people. If you and at being females, you get that some hint from the other person, or your inner hint you get whether the person you're going with is safe or not. So I've never faced such scenarios after traveling.
Thankfully.
Did you face anything?
Not really, to be honest. But I think what is important is to be prepared. And to know that what if, again, coming back to what if, and how you can actually handle the situation if something like that. But at the same time, you do not want to make it a very scary experience for your children, right?
Yep.
You want them to enjoy. So while you as a mother have to be well prepared and well aware of the situation, at the same time, you do not want children to feel any sort of worry and stress,
I also tell my daughter, it reminds me, is that if we are in a busy place, I tell her that if we get lost, this is where we'll meet. Like we were on a cruise, and she's smart enough now. She knows we were lost, and as per her, we were lost, but I knew where she was. So she went to the cruise manager that my mama is lost, and then they were announcing.
So she was not lost. Mama was lost.
Mama was lost. So they were announcing. I said, I knew you were in the play area. And she was like, maybe she wanted to experience that.
Oh, yes.
She wanted to experience that. What if I get lost? How will I go back to my mama? So now, if we are going to any busy place, and I always
You can
tell her
find
that
a way
in
to
case
find.
we missed out, this is a place, and she knows this is a main reception area or main desk or
Hmm.
information center. She keeps an eye on that.
Hmm.
That this is an information center. That if you get lost, come back to this place. We'll
Yeah.
meet at this point. I think that works a lot. Like again, Dubai Mall,
Hmm.
huge.
Hmm.
So I always tell her that if you get lost, this is an information center. Just keep asking people where's the information center and wait here. I'll come back and come to the
Yeah.
same place.
Yeah.
And now we have those watches. I use
Yeah. I was going to come
extensively.
to that. Do
Yeah,
you use any trackers or smart watches?
I use it for my kids. So for the younger one, I have that air tag with them. So I keep it in their pocket or something so
Yeah.
that I can track the location. For the elder one, I have the watch, which is really good. If she's in even the society park, I know where is a location. I can talk to her. She can only call 2 numbers.
Yeah.
So she can either call me or her dad. So I use those trackers to monitor. So it's really good. I think we have a technology. Use it for your advantage. Why not?
Mhm.
So I think technology should be used, leveraged.
Absolutely. I think it's very important. And we have those possibilities now. So why
Yeah,
not?
why not? Why not? Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course.
I think traveling is just such a massive experience, and there's so many different things which come along with traveling, and so many things you learn along the way, you experience, and you tend to bring home with you as a memory. But if you were to put travel in one word, traveling with kids in one word, what would that be?
Okay. I would say for me, if it is just one word, learning.
Mhm.
Learning for me as a mother of two
Yeah.
and learning for kids. I think it's another word, travel means learning for me.
I think we as mother learn way more than the
Way more
kids.
than the kids.
And the beauty is every travel, every destination is just so different. So you
Absolutely.
cannot even say been there, done that.
Yep.
It's just such a different experience every time.
Every
And
time, I agree. And that's why I would want to say travel for me is learning. Learning different perspective, learning about different cultures, different people,
absolutely.
different places, different food is so much to learn while traveling.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
um, now that we're in an age that we have our phones with us all the time and we do not go with those traditional cameras, traveling with traditional cameras. So we end up taking so many pictures and videos.
Yeah.
And I think along the way, they just get lost somewhere. We
Yep.
maybe if we're active on social, we post 1 or 2 pictures and
Yeah.
they become memories for us.
Yeah.
Is there any suggestion you have for parents on how to preserve those memories and what to do with all those pictures and videos?
I'm a content creator as well, so my videos and pictures are way more than a normal parent would click.
Yeah.
So I learned hard time after losing good pictures. So I have an extra hard drive. So
Yeah.
every time I come back, I delegate this to my team member that take out the pictures. There is a folder made for each year and each location that I've made.
Yeah.
So the trick is to be organized, come back
Sure.
and archive those in a folder.
Mhm.
And then I've also made a folder of best ones as well
Oh,
because
sweet.
at one spot there'll be
Hundreds of
hundred of
them.
pictures. So the
Yeah.
best one, I've made a folder of that. Initially, I struggled a lot. My phone memory was always full.
Yeah.
And iPhones, it's difficult to transfer as well. It's a task, it's a pain sometimes to transfer from mobile to the laptop or some hard drive. So I also have an extra camera which I carry along, which has those drives. And that's the best way, I think, rather than
Yeah.
filling your mobiles, which has so many other important documents and thing.
Mhm.
Carry a separate camera with you and keep that as a travel camera itself.
Yeah.
So organizing is the key. Keep it
Absolutely.
like how I've done. I've made year-wise folders in my laptop, and within year-wise, different locations have been kept because I have to keep taking out the videos of different location.
I still miss the traditional ways of
Just
literally
10, 12 pictures.
printing them, making an album, because then we tend to look at it more frequently, right?
I've done that. My house is full of pictures.
Yeah.
It's full of pictures. I don't have even single wall left where there are no pictures.
How nice.
So I pick up 1 or 2 pictures and put it on the wall, and I keep circulating that every next 2 to 3 years because kids are growing up.
Yeah.
Initially, it was just about my daughter, but then my son came in, and then now I have pictures for my son and daughter together. So I think I've used those pictures in a very good way of putting it in our house to give a more personalized touch. But you're right. Old days were much simpler
A
and
photo book for
better.
every occasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my marriage pictures were still the same. The
Hmm.
book, the old traditional way of books,
Yeah.
and we were not very much inclined of clicking 1,000 pictures.
True.
So simple old
Those were
lives,
treasures. We kind of
treasures. I
preserved
agree.
for us. Since we are here on Matehood and we have spoken a lot about how, as a mother, it's been for you traveling with your children, but you also mentioned that on some trips, your mother is also traveling with you.
Yep.
So I really want to know how it was for you, like when you were a kid yourself, when you were traveling with your mom as a kid. Is there any memory or experience which you would like to share with us and is really close to your heart?
Okay. I have two. One good, one bad.
Sure.
And it's an emotional one too.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them were, as a family, we were very, I would say, lower middle class family with very limited means.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad made sure that we go out somewhere on our summer vacations.
Yeah.
So he took us to Haridwar. Okay. For us, those were the vacations.
Yeah.
Take a bus or a train and go to Haridwar. And we spent there 3-4 days. And next to Haridwar, 1 hour from there is Mussoorie. And I wanted to visit Mussoorie.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, I got to know that later, ran out of money.
Okay.
So, but since we said that
Mm-hmm.
we want to go to Mussoorie, he made us stay in the hotel for whole day, went out to his business partner who was near around, took some additional money from him and took us to Mussoorie. Just because we said that, and now that we have come to Haridwar and Mussoorie is next to it, he
Yeah.
made sure that we don't miss to that experiences,
Oh, nice.
which I got to know later, and which was a big hit for me as well,
Mm.
that he wants his kids to enjoy and not let the money piece come to
Yeah.
in between. So I think that was an emotional thing.
And now I understand where your priorities come
Yeah,
from.
yeah. And now I make sure that I don't run into that situation. And I'm very,
Yeah.
very like in terms of saving for my travels, I do that
Yeah.
proactively so
Yeah.
that if I want to splurge, I have the
Mhm.
money for it. I'm not just running out of the cash when I'm at
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
So and we keep talking about right now also that if I was your place, I would have said, "Chalo yahan se wapas ho gaya bahut." And he didn't do that.
How sweet.
We were staying whole day in the hotel, and he said, "Stay here. I'm coming. I'm going to meet my friend because he's a businessman. He has business partners or in different places." He went to him, took some additional advance money from them, and took us to
Yeah.
Mussoorie for just to explore. Imagine who would do that. I would never do that.
Yeah, and it left such a lasting impression on you.
It has, it has, it
Yeah.
has. And second was I was not allowed to go alone to outside places.
Yeah.
And one fine day I got to travel to Mumbai for my office work.
Mhm.
And it was a 1 month project that I was supposed to do. And it was just when I started my job. And I told my dad that I have to go to Mumbai. And he said, Akele to nahi, ab dekh lo. You know what we did?
Mhm.
And I laugh on that. He sent my mom along. He said, "You want to go? I don't want to stop to you, but take your mom along."
Hmm.
Whole day I was in the office. My mom used to stay like how she's staying now in the
Hmm.
hotel room alone. In the evening, we used to explore. We went to Mathiran, Shirdi, and all those places
Yeah.
on weekends. But these things have left a lot of good memories and also not so good memories. That why?
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that with my daughter. I want to be very much confident to be able to travel
Yeah.
places alone or solo.
But that's how you made it different for her because
Yeah.
you started traveling
Yeah.
from a young age.
I
So
agree.
that's how both experiences are so different.
Yeah. So both the experiences are good also and gave me a lot of learning to setting my life in a different way and for my kids.
Yeah.
So these were the two things which are from my childhood in my core memories, which I never forget. And that's actually very true. We keep laughing. So we keep laughing and to keep telling my mom, "Aapne mujhe akele Bombay bhi nahi jaane diya, mama."
I think
And now she
those
doesn't
times
stop. I
were
think
different.
for me, being married I used to say that earlier, was a very privileged thing because I was like, marriage after having after getting married, nobody stops me for anything.
It came with a lot of independence.
Yeah,
and
for me it
authority.
was like my husband was my best friend, so
Yeah.
he didn't have any problem me traveling anywhere, even though I was working.
Yeah.
So I was like, suddenly things have changed so much. Before marriage,
Why didn't I get married before?
even though I got married when 25, but I had
Okay.
opportunities which I had to leave. I went to Nepal. I took my entire family along with me.
How nice.
I had a project in Nepal, and my dad, my mom, my younger brother were along with me
Yeah.
for a month time. So
Yeah.
they were so protective about me because I come from a very small town. So they didn't know whether girls are supposed to do that or not. And now
Yeah.
every other month I'm going either to UK and Europe alone.
Now they're
And-
seeing the world through your eyes.
Yes. And now they feel very confident.
Yeah.
So they have gained that confidence. And I don't want to restrict my daughter that, I want to stop you for anything. Go out and
How
explore.
lovely. That's how it should be, I feel as well. And I
Yeah.
completely agree on that.
You've touched the emotional part of my journey.
Thank you so much, Silky, for joining us on Matehood. It's been such a pleasure having this conversation with you. I think hassle-free travel is a dream for many, many, many parents, and you have put it all together in such simpler words. And I would say a toolkit which would be very handy and useful for parents out there. And to celebrate this chat and motherhood, I have got this beautiful hamper for you from Maate, and I would like to give it to you.
Thank you, Priyanka, for having me. Thank you, Priyanka. I totally enjoyed it. It gave me the entire flashback from my childhood to what I'm doing. And I'm so glad that I'm able to make the differences in the life of mothers who want to travel and who are not mentally ready at the moment. And the most important thing, they give up their passion, be it traveling or whatever the passion that they have in their life post they become mother.
Yeah.
So I'm able to do that through my social media. And thank you for having me. I'm sure this will be valuable for everyone.
I'm sure this chat is going to be very inspiring for a lot of moms who are really hesitant to take that first step. And now they will really put that foot out and start traveling.
Finger cross. I hope for the same.
Thank you so much once again, and wishing you lots of success ahead.
Thank you.
Lot more travel with your little ones, and
Thank you.
lots of love to you and your family.
Thank you, Priyanka.